Diane Clark, please.
Miss Diane or Mrs. Diane?
Diane.
Diane.
Diane, yes.
Miss?
Miss.
Right.
Question I'd like to ask is, in exactly what context is the coming of the promised Messiah mentioned in the Quran?
Come closer.
In exactly what context is the coming of the promised Messiah mentioned in the Quran?
What context the promised Messiah mentions his advent or what?
Is mentioned in the Quran. What exactly is the context?
I understand in Quran, but what in Quran are you particularly inquiring from me?
He's coming. He's coming.
Advent, this is why I said Advent.
Yes.
The advent of the promised Messiah,
That's right.
yeah.
Yes, understand. Thank you very much. You happen to be an Ahmadi, I suppose?
Yes.
The way you have framed your question. Are you from the Gambia?
No.
From Nigeria? From Ghana?
No, I was born in England.
Huh?
I was born here.
She was born here.
No, I mean the origin. Before you came here.
Nevis in the West Indies. That's where my parents are from.
Right. Thank you very much. Hazrat Masih Maud al-Islam, the promised Messiah, has spoken of many verses in relation to his advent, which clearly speak of that future advent. Particularly, he brought to the focus of our attention one verse of Surah Jummah, right in the beginning. In Surah Jummah, I'll read the first three verses, and then you'll understand. With reference to that, I'm going to build my answer. It says, هو الذي بعث في الأميين رسولا منهم يتلو عليهم آياته ويزكيهم ويعلمهم الكتاب والحكمة وإن كانوا من قبل لفي ضلال مبين وآخرين منهم لما يلحقوا بهم وهو العزيز الحكيم ذلك فضل الله يؤتيه من يشاء والله ذو الفضل العظيم. The first verse which I have recited is هو الذي بعث في الأميين رسولا. It is Allah, the same Allah who is mentioned, who raised the Holy Prophet Muhammad Rasulullah from among the illiterate people of Arabia or the illiterate people of the world. Either way it can be translated. Unlettered people. While he was one of them. But what a transformation. Now the same person has been turned into a teacher of the whole world. What is the instrument which brought about this revolution? This instrument is being mentioned now after this. It says, يَتْلُو عَلَيْهِمْ آيَاتِهِ وَيُزَكِّيهِمْ وَيُعَلِّمُهُمُ الْكِتَابَ وَالْحِكْمَةَ. He has started reciting the verses of Allah which are revealed to him. And that is the big change which has occurred. And then when he recites the verses, وَيُزَكِّيهِمْ, with the blessing of that contact with Allah, that communion with Allah, he has acquired the power of purification. He receives the messages from Allah, passes them on to the people, and purifies them. This is the second claim made. The third is, he teaches them the law, that is the divine law revealed to him. And the fourth claim is that he also explains the underlying wisdom in each injunction of the law. يُعَلِّمُهُمُ الْكِتَابَ is the teaching of law. يُعَلِّمُهُمُ الْحِكْمَةِ means the underlying wisdom. Now with that, the verse comes to end, and in the end, the word is kept by this expression, وَإِن كَانُوا مِن قَبْلُ لَفِي ضُلَالٍ مُبِينٍ. While the fact is that before the advent of this prophet, all the people were in manifest errors. He came to rectify all the errors. Now the statement is completed. Suddenly, in the second verse, a turn is taken. And this is which I draw your attention to. You know, this is the main part of the verse to which Masih Maud drew our attention. It says, وَآخَرِينَ مِنْهُمْ لَمَّا يَلْحَقُوا بِهِمْ وَهُوَ الْعَزِيزُ الْحَكِيمُ. He raised the same prophet also among a people, is different people, آخَرِينَ مِنْهُمْ لَمَّا يَلْحَقُوا بِهِمْ, who have not even met these earlier people. But so far they have not met. But later on, they will be brought together. آخَرِينَ مِنْهُمْ لَمَّا يَلْحَقُوا بِهِمْ وَهُوَ الْعَزِيزُ الْحَكِيمُ, and God is well capable. मैंने कहा इसको रहने दें. I prefer the warmth, heat, rather than the noise, please. So, the Holy Quran says that he would also be raised, آخَرِينَ مِنْهُمْ, among a people who are not yet born. But they will be counted as if they had met the earlier people. They would be counted among the same as trained by Hazrat Muhammad Rasulullah himself. ذَلِكَ وَهُوَ الْعَزِيزُ الْحَكِيمُ. This is a very strange thing to declare, to claim, but God is all-powerful, and when He does something, He does with dignity. And He also is all-wise. So what He has decided to do, He will be able to do it, but not haphazardly, with a system, with a wisdom behind it. Then it says, ذَلِكَ فَضْلُ اللَّهِ يُؤْتِيهِ مَن يَشَاءُ. This second advent of Hazrat Muhammad Rasulullah, which is mentioned, is going to be a sign of Allah's blessing, Fadlullah. And Allah knows where to bestow His blessing. Nobody can dictate terms to Allah, that these are fit people and that are not, and so on and so forth. He is the owner, He is the master. Whichever people He chooses for bestowing His blessing, He can do that. That was a warning that next time the representation of Hazrat Muhammad Rasulullah will not be from the same people of Arabia from whom He rose Himself in the original manifestation of Islam. Because ذَلِكَ فَضْلُ اللَّهِ يُؤْتِيهِ مَن يَشَاءُ. It's a very clear warning that you have no right to ask God to create another representative of Hazrat Muhammad Rasulullah from the Arabs themselves. Allah is the master. He chooses whenever He so does to manifest Himself wherever He likes. So now, this is my interpretation so far. This is the interpretation which was taught to us by Masih Maud ﷺ, but has it any support from the verdict of Hazrat Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam himself? This is the most vital question raised here. If we can support this understanding of the verse with a very clear verdict of Hazrat Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, as reported in the most authentic book of traditions, then there shouldn't be any hesitation on the part of Muslims to accept this. And now I'm turning to that. Now this is where Masih Maud and His coming, and the Mahdi and His coming and Advent are all mentioned in this verse. A very definite, clear message that in future a people who have not met the earlier people would be blessed by the re-advent of Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and his re-advent would bring the latter people and the earlier people together. This is the blessing of Allah to whomever He bestows. It is His choice.